You don't know what it's going to be until you fucking try it. You might book a movie with fucking all the movie stars, and the movie tanks, and nobody knows who the fuck you are. But then you might just do a fucking video of you singing a song, and everybody knows who you are. You're never going to know what's going to take you to the next level until you do it. But if you don't do anything, you're not going to get to that next level anyway. So do it all. I was talking to Jimmy the other day, and Jimmy was going, 30 years in the business, you can't figure shit out. He goes, I do all these podcasts. Nothing works. Nobody ever says to me, hey, good podcast. He does Godfrey's podcast. Godfrey put a clip up. It got 1 million hits.
Good for him.
And guess what? African Americans are going to Jimmy Florentine's shows. So, do you understand? He did a bunch of white fucking podcasts. Nothing happened from rock music, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Ozzy's Boneyard. He does what's his name?
Godfrey.
Godfrey's podcast. And, he said the right things on it. The timing was right. But you don't plan that. That's why nothing burns me up. I saw some fucking jerk-off comics from New York about a year ago making statements about, I went on the Rogan podcast and nothing really happened for me. What do you think is going to happen? You think a bluebird of happiness is going to knock on your door the next day and go, hey, we saw you on Rogan yesterday. Let's open the floodgates. It's not like that. You might have to do Rogan 4 times before something happens. But if you're depending on Rogan to blow your career up, then you're wrong. It's going on Rogan and what work you put in after Rogan. It's not the Tonight Show that gets you to the next level. It's what you're going to do afterward.
Right.
But
even for me though, because that's so far away. Like me making it in stand up, I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're 34, you're young. To me, I'm realizing that I'm getting older, and even though I'm still young, I don't want to look back in 20 years. Like you said, that 2 years, it went by quickly. I don't want to look back in 20 years and feel like I didn't give it a shot. So even if because in like reality, I'll probably never be a headlining. I'd like to be. That'd
Who
be
the
fun,
fuck knows?
But it's just fun.
You cannot put a fucking ceiling over your career.
Right.
You're going to do comedy. You're going to play the flute. You're going to do whatever the fuck you're going to do for your happiness.
Yeah.
Okay? And it becomes a hobby. And it becomes whatever you want it to become. You have a day job. So, but never, guys, listen to me. I used to be Lee. I used to sound like Lee. Okay? Life had to kick me in the fucking teeth to show me that anything is possible in this world. Guys, take it from me. I was a felon. I had nothing going on. I'm not good looking. I lost my daughter. Nobody wanted to lurk with me, but I stuck with comedy. Nobody wanted to hang out with me.
No, the line is nobody wanted to lurk with me.
Nobody wanted to lurk with me, right?
That's a shirt.
Yeah, but do you think now at night I sit there and now I have a positive outlook more than I had before? Because when I did comedy in the beginning, yeah, it was to get out of being a criminal and become a human being, but I didn't know I was going to get to hang with Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle and do comedy with Chappelle in 2001 and just 1,000 things. Guys, I never saw a movie. If you think I was telling my friends I'm going to be in a movie, but to go back to a podcast we did 2 weeks ago when we were talking about debt, and I'm like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be fair about this. I'm going to go into debt. If I make it, I pay the bills. If I don't, you're in debt. But I'm going to make it because I need to pay these bills. I don't want to live my life as a fucking deadbeat.
Right.
So, guys, when a kid was here, Joey came over the other day. We're watching college football. Little Joey. The reason why I give him $10 is because he didn't want to play. He goes there and he's like, I don't want to play. He's the toughest kid on the team. He's fucking a great athlete, and he's a little scared. He didn't like it. So I would talk to him every week. Joey, your father's going to fucking shoot you. You better fucking...
He's a little scared. Your dad's going to shoot you.
You better go in that game. But let me tell you what happened. He was here 2 Fridays ago because they come over on Fridays. The girls hang out, and then Joey hangs out with me down here, and my wife hangs out with Joey's mom upstairs. We're watching college football, and the guy scored. And I go, Joey, you run like that. And he looked at me like... And I go, Joey, that could be you. That could be you in 20 years. And I'm not lying to anybody. I'm not lying. That could be you, Joey. It hit him so hard, he just passed out. It was like giving him NyQuil. He looked at me, he's like, it could be me. Boom, he just passed out from the fucking thought of that.
Yeah.
People really don't, like, people go, yeah, I'm going to be a rock star, I'm going to do this. But in there, at night, they're crying. They're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to wear spandex pants. You know, whatever the fuck it is. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But don't ever fucking nudge yourself out. Because if your Uncle Joey did it, could you imagine what you could do? And I've been telling people this since I've been doing the podcast. If I did this, can you imagine what you could do with a loving family, no drugs, and people who care about you and shit? You know, I did all this shit with nobody in my corner. Yeah, in 2000, I met my wife. I was 9 years into comedy. But those rough years, I did on my own. You know, and those were bus rides, bombing, nobody talks to you. You know, triple runs. That is not a fucking great career. Sleeping in your car, eating Subway veggie and cheese sandwiches. That's not a great career, but it beat my alternative, which was prison.
Yeah, that's a lot better than prison.
It beat my alternative. It's a lot. Listen, man, I got into comedy to get out of this criminal world. And if I could do something with stand-up and stupid movies and auditions, I can't imagine what you guys could do.
But, and how much... I know, obviously, when you're broke, it's not fun.
No.
But how much of that time was fun for you, doing those gigs and doing those triple runs? Was it fun in the moment?
Guys, you watch MTV and you see these bands, you know, and you're like, man, I wish I could do that. Be on a fucking bus with Zach Wilde, you know, but then now you're in the micro world. You're not hanging out with Zach Wilde. I'm not hanging out with Dave Chappelle. I'm not hanging out with Joe Rogan. I'm not hanging out with Bill Burr, Dean. It's just me on a Greyhound bus. And it reminds you of Wanted Back or Alive. When Bon Jovi's singing it and he's in the video and he's on the bus and he's looking around and, you know, you don't know those words. Like when you listen to his words and Bob Seger, Out on the Road, the one song he's got, you know, that's what, like for me, I didn't care if I was alone. I didn't care. I had $3 in my pocket. I didn't give a fuck that my Walkman needed batteries. I was doing it. Even if I was a feature act for $100 a night, guess what? I'm in it. I'm in it. And guess what? It was a lot of fun. And that's why I tell people I do it all over again. Because I never knew what I was walking into.
And how long would it take, or how often would you see yourself improve? Would it be like every 6 months, be like, oh shit, I did like...
Every 90 days, I'd see something that would keep me alive for another 90.
Really?
I would always go, if this doesn't change in 90 days, I'm quitting this shit. I'm done with this shit. I go sell coke. Why am I doing this? Why am I working for $100 a night? They only give me 50 up front and mail me a check. No. When I first started with Triple, it was 85 a night.
Oh.
And he gave you 50 up front and 35 he mailed you a month later.
It's such a random number. How many $35 checks did you get?
No. Well, it's every night. So if you have 6 shows, then he owes you $6.35.
Oh, okay.
So you got to check 2 weeks later and shit like that. But I didn't give a fuck because I knew what the alternative was. When you're in it, you're not thinking, well, I got 6 more years to be good. No, because this lottery ticket could cash today.
Yeah, or can never cash, which is, I mean...
It's if you put the work in and believe in your heart and stay pure to yourself, you'll cash a portion of it. It's not going to be the 21 million you wanted. You know what I'm saying? It could be 2,100. But
Right.
guess what? You did that. You did that. So when they pay me 2,100, I'm really worth 10,000, but I can't raise my hand. Guess what? I did this by cracking jokes. I did this by writing a song. Somebody paid me money to write a fucking soundtrack. You know, nobody knows my name. Can you imagine being a ghostwriter? You're sitting there at home watching TV and your commercial comes on for Cadillac and it's your jingle. You just got 300,000 in the fucking mail for it, because that's what you get from commercial music. When you do music for commercials, that's when you get rich quick.
Yeah.
You know.
And every time they keep playing it,
you
ching,
get
ching,
rich.
ching, ching.
Wing, ching, ching.
Jingle, jangle.
So just being in the game. Listen, if you think I'm any good at jiu-jitsu, you got rocks in your head. But I keep going. because I know it'll change for me. I know eventually the switch is going to go off.
I saw a picture. Did you demote yourself? Why did you do? Why did you take? I saw that. I was like, did he take away his blue belt?
I took away my own blue belt. I didn't feel like a blue belt. It was a celebrity blue belt they gave me in LA. No disrespect to Alberto. He saw something in me. I was working hard and stuff, but I didn't feel like a blue belt. And then I understood what a blue belt meant, and I accepted it. But then I was like, I was off the mats for a year and a half. And if I sucked when I was on it at 3 times a week, how bad would I suck in it now? So when I joined Gracie, I started from scratch. I did a couple privates, and when I went in, he goes, "If you want to put your blue belt on, you're more welcome." I go, "Not at all. I want to start this program from scratch." So I went in with 1 strike.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't feel like a blue belt. So if you don't feel like a blue belt, how can I parade myself? I'm barely a white belt with 2 stripes. That's how good I am. I got a scissor sweep. I can pass your guard. I know what a fucking De La Riva is, but I'm not good at jiu-jitsu. So what do? Quit? No. You keep going. You make a plan with yourself. I catch 1 core class and 2 blue belt classes, and I do the best I can. And I know eventually someday I'll feel like a blue belt.
And at least you're honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're not jumping in there with the brown belts.
Now, after being in LA, do you see how important it is to be honest with yourself? Because you saw it. He sees the fight. He saw it. I don't have to sell him on anything. I don't have to tell him anything. He used to tell me what he saw. You have to check yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and go, this isn't working. Or I'm going to do this for 6 more months and maybe do this and adjust this. But you see it out there, that people, and you're like, why are they still here? You feel for them. Yeah. But again, I can't take nothing away from them because anything can happen at any time. In my world, it's always Wednesday. You know what Wednesday is on the Mickey Mouse Club?
No, what?
It's anything can happen day. In my world, every morning I wake up and it's anything can happen day. But that goes 2 ways. You get hit by a car. Or you get your dick sucked. You follow me? So when we get up every morning, it's a 50-50 chance.
But do you think anything is possible if you're not honest with yourself? I think you have to be honest with yourself.
Listen, anything can happen, whether you're honest with yourself or not honest with yourself. But can you maintain that level without being honest with yourself? That's a weird thing. If you see a lot of the comedians, and I'm not mentioning no names, but if you see a lot of comics right now, they got a little bit of an ego. That's what happens after. And then you become preachy on stage. And that's what happens to comics. They get that fucking ego. I don't want to fuck with that ego.
And you relate comedy to MMA a lot. And to me, it seems like how sometimes you'll see a fighter lose, and then they fix whatever like made them lose that fight, and then they go and become champ. Like I think it happened to Kamaru and happened to a bunch of people. And I think that's what happens because you'll also point to fighters who will continually lose making the same mistake. So I think that has to be the same in stand-up where if you don't look at, okay, I'm not good at crowd work or I can't follow this kind of person, I don't know if you will get better. I mean, you tell me, I don't know anything. I'm 2 years old.
You have to, listen, metal sharpens metal. So, I mean, if you want to go down to, I don't even know how to describe this. If you want to go down, if you want to be the big fish in a small ocean, or if you want to be a little fish in a big ocean. And I always wanted to be a little fish in a big ocean because I have a chance to learn. When you're a big fish in a little ocean, for me to pack up my bags and go to like Denver, okay, and go there with ego and smash the open micers and bump them.
Bumping open micers.
Bump them, I'm going up next like a gangster, try to do that. It doesn't, I don't like that. I don't see the beauty in that. I never wanted to be that guy that came home and said, I was at the Comedy Store, and that's all I'm talking about, And, come on, guy. So, you fucking do the best you can. You stay honest with yourself. You know, you look at other people and you go, wow, he's doing something that I'm not doing. You know, he's doing something I'm not doing. What is he doing to get ahead that I need to do? And you'll see and you jump on. Life is a beautiful thing, guys. You know, you could either fucking sit on the bench or go in and play in the game in life. It's up to you.
And it's just fun. It's fun to, like, when you try something, like, as scared as I was yesterday. Like, and I'm not going to name any names, but we were doing a show in Vegas once, and there was a new comic who had just been doing it, and you asked him if he wanted to go on, and he didn't. And I get that. I get being scared to go on in front of, like, I don't know what that was, 1,000 people. But I think that might have been, like, the last time he did stand-up.
Yeah, he lost. He lost. And you have to, you know, when somebody gives you an opportunity, you got to jump on it. You know, I mean, listen, if fucking Guns N' Roses called me today and they said, hey, you know, we want your band to open for us. I got to evaluate the band to see if I'm ready for that. Are we ready for this? You don't know what you're getting yourself into, you know. This is hanging out with these fucking savages. This is a different music experience. So you have to be where you're comfortable. You know, you don't ever want to be somewhere, like if I was doing comedy in 2000 and somebody called me to go on a major tour, I was a little stupid. I would have done it, fucked myself up, and then never worked again. Thank God nobody called me on a major league tour. They called me later on when I could do it, you know.
Right.
But succeeding in anything, you got to stick it out. We've discussed this for fucking 12 years about just keep showing up. And good things are going to happen eventually. Eventually. What's that stupid fucking cliche expression? No good deed
Goes unpunished.
I'm telling you guys that I'm living proof. Put your fucking work effort into it. You have to make a few sacrifices, you know? Just a few sacrifices. Things that you really want to do that you can't do no more because this is what you want to do and this is what needs to be done.
But it's also, that's why, whether, I don't know if you want to call it a hobby for me or not, but it's something that I don't really see what I'm doing for stand-up, at least not yet, as a sacrifice. And I'm sure eventually if I wanted to, like, take it to the next level, it might feel like a sacrifice.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's something that's only been fun.
You like the Boston Red Sox, right?
Yes.
You like the New England Patriots,
Of
right?
course.
Okay, so when you fucking put your sneakers on and you leave your children, your wife, Athena, I leave Mercy and my wife to fucking go do whatever. That's huge, guys. There's people who will never do that. You know how hard it is for some people to put their sneakers. You know how hard it is for me to put my sneakers on at 7:30 for a fucking year I was here? Wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen. But once you're willing to make the sacrifice, just that alone. I mean, if you live by yourself and you're a jamoke in a basement and you have a pet lizard, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let lizards fun to hang out with.
We don't even eat lizard meat no more, so
No.
that's good. But, you know, everything's a fucking sacrifice. When you have to go out at night, you like the Red Sox. You know, if it's a Sunday night, New England's playing, late game, you have to go do a spot. You know, these are all sacrifices, guys. I have to walk away from my daughter at dinner. It's all fucking sacrifices, and you know what, man? I think they always get rewarded. I think everything gets rewarded. I told you guys once that the universe takes care of you. But they have to see that you're making a fucking effort. And that's the most important fucking thing. And that's it for a beautiful fucking Monday morning in September. We're not fucking around. We're going to keep you here all day. It's Monday morning. We just want to put a good word into your ears so the rest of the week is fucking beautiful. I'm doing the Sony Theater again. October 8th. Do not pay over $40 for tickets. Lee will be here with me again, and the show's going to get bigger and better. I see it coming. I want to thank the Sony Hall for even thinking of me, and it all worked out. And my fucking, the biggest star of the night, Saturday night, was Laughing Gas. I want to thank Scott and Joe Pepper and the crew from Laughing Gas. They came, they gave away T-shirts, they gave away bags, they gave away bags of reefer. Just a tremendous, I'm very proud to be together with Laughing Gas. They really did a great job. And that's it, and that's that. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for coming last night. It was a lot of fucking fun.